The next concept is form as plane. So form as plane means already we know a plane is nothing but it is bounded by some lines. Of course, these lines may be of conceptual. Okay, so this interrelationship of conceptual lines determine the shape of the planar forms, right? Okay, so these planar forms may be classified according to their shape. Okay, so how these are interrelated and how these are been classified, let us go in detail. The first category is according to the its geometric form. Okay, so the geometric form as plane is nothing but which has some mathematical relations. So these forms are constructed according to the some sort of mathematical relation. If you see certain shapes, okay, so this is a rectangle. If you see this rectangle which has sides of a and b, then the mathematical relation it would be of perimeter 2 into a plus b for a rectangle, as well as the area of the rectangle will be a into b. The same way, if we consider a square, okay, which has a side of a, then the parameter is 4a and its area is a into a square. Okay, so the mathematical relation will be as like that. The same way, if we consider another shape, a triangle, which has a side of a, b, c and the height of h, then the parameter would be a plus b plus c and the area is of bh. Okay, in the same way, if you see another form, geometric form, a parallelogram which has a length of a and b its side, then the parameter would be 2 into a plus b, and if the h is the height, then the area will be a into h. Okay, so if we consider a circle, okay, as we know the parameter is 2 pi r, okay, and its area would be by r square. Okay, so these are the some of the geometric forms or geometric forms in planar form. Okay, the second category of planar form are rectilinear form. Rectilinear forms are nothing but what? The forms, those are of two-dimensional appearance. Okay, I mean to say it occupies certain area, but the forms are bounded with some sort of straight lines. Of course, the bounded straight lines they do not relate one to another mathematically. So, for suppose if we see certain shapes, okay, so if we observe these shapes 1, 2, and 3, so these shapes are some sort of lines, but they don't have any relation among these straight lines. Okay, so the next category is according to the irregular forms. Okay, these irregular forms are nothing but what? Initially those forms rectilinear they have only straight lines, but if some area is covered with straight lines and curved lines, then we can say is of irregular in form. And also these they do not have any mathematical relation in one among. For suppose here the lines and curves are there, here also lines and curves are there, but there is no relation among those lines and curved lines. Those are nothing but irregular forms. The same way, if we see the form as plane, the next category is organic form. These organic forms are nothing but what? These forms are bounded with free curves. Okay, as well as these organic forms, they generally represent the nature of fluidity or the growth. Okay, so how this appears if we see, so if we observe these forms, okay, these some sort of free curves which is representing the area, as well as they are, I mean to say that they are representing some sort of growth. Okay, for suppose leaves, okay, stones, Okay, these are comes under organic form category. Then the next category is hand-drawn forms. These hand-drawn forms are nothing but what? These are of calligraphic. Okay, so this calligraphic is nothing but which has the visual art related to the writing. If you see the example here, how this calligraphic is visualizing, so it is some sort of writing with hand, but which has representing some sort of visual art on handwriting. For suppose, see how this form is creating. Okay, so it is representing a hand-drawn form. Okay, this is nothing but calligraphic representation. These are the hand-drawn forms. Okay, then the next category of plan as form is accidental forms. Accidental forms are nothing but what? Which forms are generated accidentally. I mean to say it is non-intentional. Okay, for suppose if you consider material removal process, for suppose a lathe machine is working. So when the lathe machine is operating, some sort of material removal is taking place. When the material is removed, when the material removal process is taking place, we don't know what is the exact shape of the chips that are formed during this machining operations. So such type of material removal process can be the best example of accidental form. In the same way, if if we cut a piece of wooden block, okay, so when it is cut, okay, so we don't know what is the exact shape when the tear is taking place, right? Okay, so this is another example of accidental form. Okay, so this is the broad classification of form as plane. In form as plane there are six categories. Okay, these are described in detail in this class.